Have you ever seen lionesses when they hunt? You know, it's a pride, but they all have their own jobs of what to do. And when they're hunting, one is going off to the right, one's going off to the left. But that pride is almost a sense of community that is built into each other. They all have their own job, their own duty of what to do. And that's almost like when we're rethinking the church, each one of us has a duty or a job to encourage other people. You know, that comes along with some accountability and some individualism. I don't want to get too much in the sermon. Stay tuned because you want to hear what the AI is about. Welcome back. Hopefully you're wondering what AI, and I'm not talking about artificial intelligence. What I'm actually talking about is the title of my sermon. What is your AI? What is your accountability, individualism? And that's two of my 3 points that I'm actually going to point out today. Like I was referring to lionesses when they go out and hunt, they're a pride, but they're actually part of a community. This is my third sermon on rethinking the church. You know, I've talked about brick and mortar. You know, is that the church? Are we the church? Skin and flesh, is that the church? I'm not sure what you view the church as in your faith or what you see it, but it's a community of believers lifting each other up. And we find that here in Galatians chapter 6, 1 through 5. And this is what it states. Dear brothers and sisters, if another believer is overcome by some sin, you who are godly should gently and humble help that person back onto the right path, and be careful not to fall into the same temptation yourself. Share each other's burdens, and in the way obey the law of Christ. If you think you are too important to help someone, you are only fooling yourself. You are not that important. Pay careful attention to your own work, for then you will get the satisfaction of a job well done, and you won't need to compare yourself to anyone else. For we are each responsible for our own conduct. So here's my 3 points right here. Accountability, ego, and individualism. And when we look at just the accountability part of this, we look back, it says when a believer is overcome by sin, that we should be accountable for that sin and go help lift that burden up from them. And so they're not weighed down by the sin that they're in. And then it goes on in these verses, it talks about ego, that we should allow our ego, and it doesn't say ego, but this is what it's saying in that verse 3, where it's saying if you think you're too important to help someone, you're only fooling yourself, that you're not that important. But our ego gets in the way, because sometimes we might see that believer that's overcome by sin, but we might have that resource to go help out that brother or sister and lift them up, lift up that burden, remove that ego. And then my third point here, it's the individualism that we need to see. Like, we might look at our works that is done well, but looking at the individualism in our life, that we need to see, like, oh, I did a good job, but don't allow that to hit and burden something else, because it's saying for each responsible for our own conduct. So if we're studying, we're doing something for the body of Christ, just don't put that off to the side and keep it to yourselves, but share it with the community that's around us. Life Change Go here on its own, a member of the body of Christ this week, but when together in community, the whole of the church has strength to carry burdens. So this is a short, powerful message that I'm leaving you, that we should be accountable for someone and help them lift their burdens up, because they've overcome by sin, that it's so dark for them that they don't know where to go. remove the ego off ourselves, because we might have the resource to the victory in that darkness. The individualism that we should share what we know of our own works and share it with the community around us. Don't just keep it to ourselves. Paul is instructing us here in Galatians is come together, lift each other up, and share what Christ is doing in our lives. Hey, thank you for watching. I know this is short, but I want to say this is impactful for your life. It's encouraged me while I've been doing the research and doing the reading. So, hey, thank you for watching.